Hello, my dear students. In this class, I am going to explain the most important topic for your NEET and JEE exam, that is oscillation topic. Every year, minimum two questions or more than two questions are asked in your JEE, CET or NEET examination. This is very important topic. The first concept of this topic is periodic motion and oscillatory motion. Periodic motion means object moving in the same path again and again at regular intervals of time. For example, suppose if I consider Earth rotates its own axis in the same path again and again at regular intervals of time. That is called periodic motion, or it is also defined as motion which repeats itself after a regular interval of time is called periodic motion. The time taken to complete to one revolution, it is called time period of periodic motion. And the example for this periodic motion is the revolution of Earth, or the revolution of Earth around the sun is a periodic motion. The time period of revolution is 1 year. Or another example, the moon revolves around the earth with a time period of 27.3 days. And the next example is the motion of the hands of a clock or periodic. The fourth example here, if an insect climbs up a ramp and falls down. Here, see this graph. Suppose if I consider the insect is situated at this point initially. This is the insect. Here this insect climbs up a ramp and falls down. It comes back to the ground, again the climbs up and repeat the process identically in the same manner, taking regular intervals of time. This is the displacement and time graph. It looks like this. Here it can be observed the motion repeats after every interval of time. This type of motion is also called periodic motion. And the next example, if the child climbs, another example, if the child climbs up a step and comes down, and again child climbs a step and comes down, repeat this same process. When you draw the position and time graph, here we get the graph like this. Suppose if I consider here climbs up and down, climbs up and down, which repeats the same path again and again at regular intervals of time. This type of motions are called periodic motion. Here, when we play the game of bouncing ball off the ground, I think all of you are familiar with this example or this sports. Here, when we play the game of bouncing ball, suppose if I consider this is the surface of the earth, a person standing on the surface of the earth. Here he has one ball. Here this is when we play the game of bouncing ball off the ground between the palm and the ground, between this palm and ground, the graph of height reached it against time look like this. For the forward motion or for the downward motion, a is equal to minus g, you get the formula this h is equal to ut plus half the t square. Actually the formula is s equal to ut plus half at square. Ut plus half at square. Sorry, here for downward motion a is equal to plus g. When the ball moving in this direction, here s equal to h, we get the equation h is equal to ut plus 1 by 2 g into t square, downward motion. For upward motion, that is a is equal to g, because here the force and displacement both are in opposite direction. When the balls comes downward, force and displacement both are moving in the same direction. That's why here we take it is okay here. And the ball moving in the downward direction, force and displacement both are moving in the same direction. That's why we write A equal to G, we get H equal to ut plus half gt square. But when the ball moving in the upward direction, A equal to minus G, that is H is equal to ut minus half. And the next important concept is oscillatory motion. Here oscillatory motion means if a body in a periodic motion move along the same path, or it is to and fro about its definite point, it is called equilibrium position, then the motion of the body is called vibratory motion or oscillatory motion. Here the difference between periodic motion and oscillatory motion is, periodic motion means it is the motion of the body which repeats the same path again and again at regular intervals of time is called periodic motion. But oscillatory motion means it is the to and fro motion about its own axis. About its own axis. The best example for oscillatory motion is simple pendulum. The best example for oscillatory motion is simple pendulum. Here, suppose if I consider L is the length of the thread and M is the mass of the bob. Here L is the length of the thread. When it oscillates along its own axis, it is the to and fro motion. It is also called vibratory motion from its equilibrium position. There is no significant difference between the vibratory motion and oscillatory. When the frequency is small, it is called oscillations. If the frequency is high, it is called vibration. If the frequency is small, it is called oscillation. If the frequency is high, it is called vibration. And the next example for this oscillatory motion is the simple pendulum. It is the best example. The simple pendulum is a best example. Here consider a simple pendulum. The bob is pulled aside from its equilibrium position. This is the bob. Here the bob is pulled aside from its equilibrium position. This is the equilibrium position A. Here which makes a certain angle theta. Here the motion is oscillatory. Hence it is also called periodic motion. That's why we say all oscillatory motions are periodic motions. But all periodic motions are not oscillatory motion. All periodic motions are not oscillatory, but all oscillatory motions are periodic. All these concepts already you have studied in your theory classes. And the next important concept is simple harmonic motion. It is also called SHM. If the body moving in a periodic motion along the same path to and fro about the equilibrium position, to and fro about the equilibrium position. In this case, the acceleration is directly proportional to its displacement and acceleration is always directed towards its mean position. If the graph of the displacement against the time is a sine curve or cosine curve, then it is said to be executed simple harmonic motion. Then the next important concept is frequency. Frequency means the number of oscillations made by the body in 1 second, or the number of oscillations taken by the body in 1 second. Made by the body in 1 second or taken by the body in 1 second is called frequency. The SI unit of frequency is hertz, and the dimension formula of frequency is t to the power of -1, and frequency formula is f equal to 1 by t, or the time period. From using this formula also we can find the time period. Here the frequency and time period are reciprocals of each other. T is equal to 1 divided by f. And the simple harmonic motion is the simplest type of oscillatory motion. It is the simplest type of oscillatory motion. It is in the form of integral multiple. Here particle is said to be execute simple harmonic motion. Suppose we say the particle is said to be execute a simple harmonic motion. It moves to and fro about its mean position in a straight line, and the graph between displacement of the particle from the equilibrium position is a sine or cosine curve. Here we get it is in the circular motion, or it is also called simple harmonic motion. It is described as a projection of uniform circular motion. Here suppose if I consider it is in the form of uniform or circular motion. It is moving in this direction which makes a certain angle theta, and it moves from point A to B. Here r is the radius, it is O. Here from this triangle, this is O, P and M. For this triangle, this is the displacement. Here sine theta is equal to y divided by a, displacement divided by acceleration. Then we get y equal to a sine theta. Y is equal to a sine theta, or it is also called y equal to a sine omega into theta, which is the expression for the displacement of the simple harmonic motion. Theta is equal to omega into t. It is the angular displacement. That's why we write the motion of the P. Here the motion of P is uniform circular motion. The motion of P is the uniform circular motion. We get the displacement equation, that is y is equal to a small a or capital A, y equal to a sine omega t. This is the general form of displacement of the simple harmonic motion. That is y equal to a sine omega t. And the velocity of the simple harmonic motion. The velocity of the particle executing simple harmonic motion at any instant of time means the rate of change of displacement at that instant. Here we know the formula, y is equal to a sine omega t. This is equation number 1, displacement. The rate of change of displacement, that is dy divided by dt. dy divided by dt. A into sine omega theta is equal to minus omega into cos omega t, or it is minus omega a into cos omega t. The rate of change of displacement is called velocity. We get the equation, that is v equal to dy divided by dt. Y is equal to a sine omega t. When you are differentiating this equation, we get d divided by dt, a sine into omega t. Here we get v is equal to a omega into cos omega t, or cos omega t is equal to cos theta is equal to 1 minus sine square theta. We get this equation. The velocity of the simple harmonic motion is v is equal to a omega into cos omega t. It is the simplest form of the velocity of the simple harmonic motion. Or here omega is equal to v is equal to omega into root of a square minus y square. This is also the equation of velocity of the simple harmonic motion. And the maximum particle velocity, when the velocity is maximum and minimum in case of simple harmonic motion, at the equilibrium position, suppose if you consider this is the simple pendulum, at this point the displacement is 0. At this point displacement is, this is equilibrium position. Here the velocity v is equal to omega into a. Velocity of this particle executing the simple harmonic motion is maximum and the displacement is 0. If the theta is equal to at the extreme position, here the velocity of the particle is 0. Here at this point, here it's all oscillate along its own axis. At this point the velocity of this bob is 0. At this point it has a maximum velocity, at this point it has minimum velocity. The velocity is 0 at extreme positions. And the next important concept is acceleration. Y equal to a sine omega t, that is displacement of the simple harmonic motion. Y is equal to a sine omega t, and velocity of the simple harmonic motion is v is equal to omega into root of a square minus y square, which is the expression for velocity. Then the rate of change of velocity is called acceleration. At any instant of time, the rate of velocity at that instant of time is called acceleration. Here we know the formula again. Y equal to a sine omega t, it is the displacement of the simple harmonic motion. The rate of change of velocity v is equal to the rate of change of velocity, that is v is equal to dy divided by dt. When you are differentiating this equation, we get the acceleration, that is here double differentiation. A is equal to minus omega square y. Now we conclude that y is equal to a sine omega t. It is the displacement of the simple harmonic motion. Then v is equal to omega into root of a square minus y square, which is the expression for velocity of the simple harmonic motion. Then acceleration of the simple harmonic motion, a is equal to minus omega square y. These are the three important formulas or in this concept, simple harmonic motion. Here, when y is equal to 0, the displacement is 0, then the acceleration is also 0. At equilibrium position, the displacement is 0, acceleration is 0, but velocity is maximum. If y is equal to maximum amplitude, then a is equal to minus omega square y. A is equal to minus omega. When the displacement is maximum, velocity is 0 and acceleration is maximum. Here there is a relation between. It is a very important concept. Remember this point, dear students. Acceleration, velocity and displacement, these three important parameters are related to each other. If the velocity is 0, acceleration and displacement is maximum. If displacement is 0, acceleration is 0, the velocity is maximum in this case. And the force line simple harmonic motion. Here, suppose if you consider any body of mass m, any body of mass m, this is the any body of mass m. Suppose now I consider the spring constant experiment. It has a mass m executing the simple harmonic motion with the amplitude a and angular velocity omega. The acceleration of this particle, the acceleration is always directly proportional to the displacement and always directed towards its mean position. Here acceleration formula is a is equal to minus omega square into y. Here m is the mass, a is the acceleration and y is equal to displacement. The displacement of the body away from the mean position, omega is the constant angular frequency of the body. And from that equation we get acceleration is directly proportional to displacement. Acceleration is directly proportional to displacement and always directed towards its mean position. We get a is equal to minus omega square into y. It is the acceleration equation. It is also called restoring force. Here, restoring force is directly proportional to the displacement. In case of spring constant experiment, certain mass is attached to the spring. Now, that spring is displaced through a certain distance x from initial position to final position and regains its original shape. That is called restoring force. Here, that restoring force is directly proportional to the displacement. Suppose if you apply the large amount of mass to that spring, the displacement of that spring is very high. Suppose if you apply the less amount of mass to that spring, the displacement of the spring is very less. Here, the restoring force is directly proportional to the displacement of the body away from its mean position. If greater displacement, greater restoring force. Restoring force, it is also acts towards the equilibrium position. It has the same direction as acceleration. And here, restoring force is equal to mass into acceleration. The restoring force formula is, the restoring force formula according to the Newton's second law, F equal to ma. Newton's second law, F equal to ma. Acceleration, here it is the acceleration in case of simple harmonic motion. We get F equal to m minus omega square y, or F is equal to minus m omega square into y, which is the expression for the restoring force. Or here, m and omega are constants. M is the mass, omega is the angular displacement. M omega square is equal to a. It is also called constant. F is equal to minus k into y. This is called force constant. F is equal to minus k into y. It is called force constant or restoring force constant in case of simple harmonic motion. And time period and frequency of simple harmonic motion. Here a particle executing simple harmonic motion obey the law F equal to minus ky, and k is the force constant, F is the restoring force. Or here also k is equal to m omega square, or omega square is equal to k by m, and omega is equal to root of k divided by m. And t is the time period of the simple harmonic motion. Here time period means it is defined as time taken by the particle to complete one revolution around its axis is called time period. One revolution, time taken to complete one revolution, that is 2 phi. Omega is the angular displacement. Here the time period means time period t is equal to time taken by the total displacement divided by omega, angular displacement. Then we get omega is equal to formula t is equal to 2 phi, omega is equal to root of m by k. Finally we get the answer t is equal to 2 phi root of m divided by k. Then frequency, the reciprocal of time period is called frequency, that is f equal to 1 by t root of m divided by k. And time period and frequency can also be expressed in other forms. Here we have any other different forms. The force constant, here force constant k is equal to k is equal to F into I numerically, but F equal to ma according to the Newton's second law. And A is the acceleration of the body. Here k is equal to ma divided by y, mass into acceleration divided by displacement, or y divided by A is equal to m divided by k. When you are substituting that value in this equation t equal to 2 phi, we get time period is equal to 2 phi root of displacement divided by acceleration, or f equal to 1 divided by 2 phi root of displacement divided by acceleration. And the next important concept is energy in case of simple harmonic motion. Here it has both kinetic energy and potential energy. Here from using this simple pendulum experiment, here at this point A and B, at the point A and B, this point and this point, the energy is purely potential. But when it moves from A to B, that energy is converted into kinetic energy. In this region, it has a kinetic energy. In this region, it has a potential energy. At the point A and B, energy is purely potential. Kinetic energy is 0. The potential energy is maximum. Kinetic energy is 0. But at point C, here the purely kinetic energy, here the potential energy is 0. Then the total energy at point P is potential energy plus kinetic energy. The sum of potential energy and kinetic energy is called the total energy at point P, or the total energy of the simple harmonic motion. All of you are familiar with that equation. Work done is equal to force into displacement. Here that is dW is equal to F into minus dy. Here the force and displacement both are in opposite direction, that's why dy is negative. That is called restoring force, that is opposite to the displacement. And then F equal to minus ky, F equal to minus ky, k is the force constant. We get dW is equal to minus ky into minus dy, and dW is equal to minus ky into dy. Here finally we get the answer. W is equal to 1 by 2 ky square. It is an integration method. W is equal to 1 by 2 k into y square. Also you can derive this formula from using differentiation. There also you get the same formula. Here this work done is equal to potential energy U is equal to 1 by 2 k into y square. And then the velocity V is equal to a omega into cos omega t. Substituting that value, finally we get the kinetic energy is equal to half m square, or 1 by 2 m omega square a square minus y square. The sum of kinetic energy and potential energy is called total energy. Here the kinetic potential energy is 1 by 2 k into y square. Potential energy is 1 by 2 k into y square. This is the potential energy of the simple harmonic motion, and this is the kinetic energy of the simple harmonic motion. And substitute k is equal to m omega square, we get the total energy of the simple harmonic motion. The total energy of simple harmonic motion. The total energy of the simple harmonic motion E is equal to 1 by 2 m omega square y square plus 1 by 2 m omega square a square minus y square. In this case, when you are multiplying this equation, 1 by 2 m omega into a square minus 1 by 2 m omega into y square. Here 1 by 2 m omega y square, 1 by 2 m omega y square get cancelled. We get finally 1 by 2m omega into a square, which is the final equation for the total energy of the simple harmonic motion. Here also put omega is equal to 2 phi f. We get 1 by 2m a square 2 phi f whole square, or E is equal to 2 phi square m f square into a square. Here this is the relation between kinetic energy and potential energy graph. Here, this graph explains the relation between kinetic energy, potential energy and total energy. This is also important concept. On the basis of this graph, here the graphical questions are arrived in your NEET exam or JEE exam. Suppose if the potential energy is maximum, the kinetic energy is minimum. If the kinetic energy is maximum, potential energy is minimum. From using this graph, we conclude the sum of kinetic energy and potential energy is called total energy. Here, the potential energy at the extreme position, the potential energy is maximum, kinetic energy is 0, the total energy is equal to that. Here, this is at extreme position, the displacement is maximum, potential energy is maximum, kinetic energy is 0, total energy is 1 by 2m a square into omega square. At the mean position, displacement is 0, potential energy is 0, but the kinetic energy is maximum. Again, the total energy is 1 by 2m a square into omega square. Here, this is also the concept of law of conservation of energy. Energy neither be created nor be destroyed, but in transferred one form to another form, the total energy remains constant. Very important concept on the basis of force line simple harmonic motion. If two springs of 4 constant K1 and K2 are connected in series, then the force constant K of series combination is. Here the two springs are connected, K1 and K2. Then the force constant K is K equal to 2 into K1 K2 divided by K1 plus K2. From using this formula, we can find the force constant K of the series combination. For this example, if two springs of 4 constant K1 and K2 are connected in parallel. In the last problem, we have connected in series. In case of series, we use this formula K is equal to 2 times of K1 into K2 divided by K1 plus K2. But in case of parallel, we get this formula K is equal to K1 plus K2. From using this formula, we can find the two springs of force constant K1 and K2. The time period of simple pendulum is given by T equal to 2 phi root of L by C. Here time period is directly proportional to its length and inversely proportional to its G. Okay, dear students, now I would like to solve the problems on this topic. The first problem, a particle is executing simple harmonic motion with an amplitude of 4 centimeter. It is amplitude and time period 12 seconds. This is time period 12 seconds. The time taken by the particle in going from its mean position of displacement is equal to 2 centimeter. Its displacement x is t1, and time taken from this displaced position of 2 centimeter to reach extreme position. This is the mean position x1 and this is mean extreme position x2. Displacement is 4 centimeter. On the same side is t2. Then the ratio of t1 divided by t2. Here in this problem, the amplitude of simple harmonic motion, that is A is equal to 4 centimeter and the time period is 12 seconds. Time period is 12 seconds. In the first case, this problem has a two case. In the first case, when the particle is displaced from its mean position, we know that the formula x is equal to or y is equal to, here y is equal to formula A sin omega into t. Here y is equal to A sin omega means the formula is 2 pi divided by t into t. Here the displacement is 2 and the maximum amplitude is that is 4 into sine 2 phi divided by time t is equal to 12 seconds and t is t1. Now we get sine pi divided by 6. This is 2 1. Then 2 2s are, we get sine pi by 6 into t1 is equal to 2 by 4, that is 1 divided by 2. Here, now I can write this equation. 5 by 6 into t1 is equal to sine inverse of pi divided by 6, or sine inverse of 1 by 2, it is equal to 5 divided by 6. Here pi by 6 into t1 equal to 5 by 6, then t1 is equal to 1 second. T1 equal to 1 second. Total time from mean position to extreme position. Total time from mean position to extreme position, that is 1 by 4th of its time period. 1 by 4th of its time period. Then we get 1 by 4 into time period t is equal to, here 1 by 4 into time period t is, that is 12. We get 3 seconds. T1 is equal to 3 seconds. Then T2 is equal to time taken to reach the particle from displaced position to extreme position. Then T2 is equal to, here time taken from mean position to extreme position, T1 is equal to 1 second. Time taken from mean position to extreme position, that is 1 by 4 times of its time period. 1 by 4th of times of its time period. Then T2 is equal to, here 3 minus 1 is equal to 2 second. Option A is the right answer. And the next problem is, when a particle oscillates, when a particle oscillates simple harmonically, its potential energy varies periodically if the frequency of oscillation of the particle is n. Frequency of the oscillation of the particle is n, then the frequency of potential energy variation is. Frequency of potential energy variation is, that is the potential energy, frequency of potential energy variation is 2 into the frequency of oscillation. Then we get the frequency of potential energy is 2 into frequency of oscillation is, here the frequency of oscillation of the particle is n. Then we get the answer 2 into n. The option C is the right answer, 2n. Third problem. A body executes a simple harmonic motion under the influence of force with a period of 3 seconds. And the same body executes simple harmonic motion with a time period of 4 seconds under the influence of a second force. When both the forces are acting simultaneously, the time period of same body is, here the time period of a body when it oscillates under the influence of restoring force F1 and F2, or the time periods are T1 and T2 respectively. The resultant time period is, here the resultant time period T is equal to root of T1 into T2. Here T is equal to root of the time period is when a body executes simple harmonic motion under the influence of one force with the time period is 3 seconds into T2 is 4 seconds. 4 into 3, 12. Root of 12, or we can write this equation, T is equal to 2 root 3 second. Option C is the right answer. And the next problem is, a body of mass 6 kg, body of mass 6 kg hangs from a spring. Suppose if you consider this is spring, a body of mass m is equal to, this is 6 kg. Body of mass m equal to 6 kg hangs from a spring and oscillate with a time period t is equal to 2 seconds. If the ball is removed, the length of the spring will decrease by. Length of the spring will decrease by. Here, this problem is based on the time period due to the spring. We know the formula, T is equal to 2 root of x divided by g. X is the displacement. or L divided by G. Here T is equal to time period, T is equal to 2 5 second. Therefore T is equal to 2 5 is equal to 2 5 root of x divided by G. Root of x divided by G, or we get the answer x equal to G, because hence the length of the string will decrease is equal to G in meters. Here x is the length of the string. X is the length of the string. Length of the string will decrease is equal to G meters. Option B is the right answer. Next problem is particle is executing simple harmonic motion. Particle is executing simple harmonic motion along x-axis. The force acting on it given according to the force line simple harmonic motion. Here particle is executing simple harmonic motion along the x-axis. Force acting on it. Here the force is directly proportional to displacement x and always directed towards its mean position. Always directed towards its mean position with a certain amplitude A. Now we get the answer. F is equal to A into K into X. Here K is the proportionality constant, force acting on its along its x-axis only. That's why we are not taking the negative symbol here. The option A is the right answer. The next problem is a loaded vertical spring. A loaded vertical spring executes simple harmonic motion with a time period of 4 seconds. The difference between kinetic energy and potential energy of this system varies with the period of. Here in this case, simple harmonic motion. In case of simple harmonic motion, kinetic energy and potential energy are repeated twice. Here difference energy vary with the period of. In case of simple harmonic motion, kinetic energy and potential energy are repeated twice. Here difference energy vary with the period of, that is 4 by 2 is equal to 2 seconds. Option C is the right answer. The next problem is which of the following is simple harmonic motion? Which of the following is simple harmonic motion? Earth spinning about its axis? No, because it is periodic motion. It is periodic motion. Ball bouncing between two rigid vertical walls? No. Particle moving in a circle with a uniform speed? No. Wave moving through the string fixed at both the ends? We know the formula, equation of the simple harmonic motion, that is y is equal to a sine omega t. Y equal to a sine omega t, or extended part of this equation is y equal to a sine omega t plus into kx, which agrees with the wave moving through a string fixed at both ends. Suppose if you consider here the vibration is the first mode of vibration, and this is second mode of vibration, and this is third mode of vibration. Wave moving through a string at both the ends. This is the example for simple harmonic motion. Option D is the right answer. In simple harmonic motion, if displacement is half of the amplitude, then which part of total energy will be kinetic energy? In simple harmonic motion, if displacement is half of the amplitude, then which part of total energy will be kinetic energy? The kinetic energy of the particle, it is equal to the form equation 1 by 2 m omega square. Here a square minus y square or x square. We know this form. Here the displacement is half of the amplitude. The displacement is half of the amplitude means x is equal to a by 2. Here this is the displacement and this is amplitude. The displacement is half of its amplitude. Then which part of total energy will be the kinetic energy? X equal to a by 2. Then we get the equation kinetic energy is equal to 1 by 2 m omega square into a square minus x square, means this is a square divided by 4. Then we get kinetic energy is equal to 3 divided by 8 m omega square into a square. When you are cross multiplying this equation, we get 3 divided by 8. 4 into 2 is 8. 4 a square minus a square is, that is 3. 3 a square. 3 divided by 8 m omega square into a square. Then kinetic energy is equal to 3 divided by 8 m omega square into a square. We know the formula. The total energy E is equal to 1 by 2 m omega square into a square. Here the K divided by E. Which part of total energy will be kinetic energy? Kinetic energy divided by total energy. We get the answer 3 divided by 4. The option A is the right answer. The next problem is a simple pendulum with a bob of mass m. Simple pendulum with a bob of mass m oscillates from A to C and back to A such that PB is h. This is the height h. If the acceleration due to gravity is g, then velocity of the bob as it passes through B is. Here, by the law of conservation, increase in kinetic energy is equal to decrease in potential energy. From the concept of simple harmonic motion, in case of simple pendulum, if the kinetic energy is maximum, potential energy is minimum. Potential energy is maximum, kinetic energy is minimum. Here, increase in kinetic energy is equal to decrease in potential energy. We know the kinetic energy formula, that is half mv square is equal to potential energy, that is mgh. Here m and m get cancelled. Velocity of bob that point v is equal to root of 2gh. v is equal to root of 2g. Hence the velocity of the bob as it passes through at this point B must be 2gh. Option B is the right answer. The next problem is two bodies of equal masses. Two bodies of equal masses are suspended through two separate springs of spring constant. Two bodies of equal masses are suspended through two separate springs of spring constants K1 and K2. If both the bodies are oscillated perpendicularly such that their maximum velocities are the same, then the ratio of amplitudes of their oscillations will be. We have the formula maximum velocity, that is V maximum is equal to A1 omega 1. A1 omega 1, or V maximum is equal to, for K2, that is A2 omega 2, and the ratio of their acceleration A1 by A2 is equal to omega 2 divided by omega 1. Here omega is equal to, we know the formula, omega is equal to root of K divided by M. Then A1 divided by A2 is equal to root of omega 2 is, that is K2 divided by M. Omega 1 is equal to, that is K1 divided by M. K1 divided by M. Then here A1 divided by A2 is equal to M get cancelled, root of K2 divided by K1. The option B is the right answer. The next problem is, if the length of the simple pendulum is, increased by 2%, if the length of the simple pendulum is increased by 2%, then the time period is, here the time period T is equal to 25 root of L by G, which is the formula, time period formula. When the length is increased by 2%, L is increased by 2%, then it is the length of the simple pendulum is 1 meter, increased by 2%, that is 1.02 into L. Then we get T dash is equal to new time period, T is equal to 25 root of 1.02 L divided by G. This is equation number 2 and this is equation number 1. Now dividing equation 2 by 1, we get t dash divided by t is equal to root of 1.02. Then t dash is equal to 1.02 or 1. Yeah, this is 1.02 into t. Here 1.02 into t, or t dash is equal to 1.02 into t minus t. This is equal to 0.01 into t, or the change in the time period delta t divided by t into 100. It is equal to 0.01 into t divided by t into 100. It is 1%. Here the time period is increases by 1%. Option C is the right answer. The next problem is two simple pendulum having length 0.5 meter and 20 meter. This is L1 and L2 are displaced linearly a little at the same. They will be in the same pace when shorter length pendulum complete oscillations. L1 is 0.5 meter, L2 is 20 meter. The time period of the simple pendulum, that is t is equal to 25 root of L divided by G. Here the t1 is 25 root of L is equal to 0.5 divided by G. Then t2 is equal to 25 root of L2, that is 2.0 divided by G. Here t2 divided by t1, t2 by t1 is equal to root of 2.0 divided by 0.5. Then t2 divided by t1 is equal to 2. 2.0 divided by 0.5. We get the answer 2. Option C is the right answer. And the next problem is mass M is suspended from a spring of negligible mass and the system oscillates with the frequency n. What will be the frequency of the system if a mass 4m is suspended from the same spring? The frequency of the system, that is n is equal to 1 divided by 25 root of k divided by m. On suspending mass m, then it is n dash is equal to 1 divided by 25 root of k divided by 4m. N divided by 4m. On suspending mass 4m, we get that n dash is equal to 1 by 2 into 1 divided by 25 rate of root of k divided by m. Then we get n dash is equal to n by 2. Option B is the right answer. And the next problem is the time period of simple pendulum is 2 seconds. Its length is 4 times of before, then the time period will be. The time period of the simple pendulum t is equal to 25 root of L divided by G. Here the time period is directly proportional to root of its length. Then t2 divided by t1 is equal to root of L2 divided by L1. Here t2 divided by t1 is equal to L2 by L1, that is 4 by 2. Then we get the answer root, this is L2 divided by L1, we get the answer. Length is 4 times root of 4. Then t2 is equal to 2 into t1. Then we get t2 is equal to, the time period of simple pendulum is 2 seconds, 2 into 2, that is 4. Option D is the right answer. Then next problem is a frequency of a simple pendulum. A frequency of a simple pendulum in a pre-falling lift is the time period of simple pendulum in a lift getting down. That is t is equal to, falling means getting down, t is equal to 25 root of m divided by g minus a, which is the formula to find the time period. Here freely falling, in that case a is equal to g. Lift is moving downwards, it is a plus g. Here the time period t is equal to infinity. Here the frequency n is 0. The frequency of a pendulum in a free space following the lift is 0. Option A is the right answer. The next problem is two springs A and B, Ka minus 3 Kb are stretched by the same suspended weight. Then the ratio of work done in stretching string. Here we know the formula. Work done W is equal to 1 by 2 K into x square. K is the force constant. Here X is equal to mg divided by K. Then W is equal to 1 by 2 K into X equal to mg by K, mg divided by K into whole square. Here omega is inversely proportional to its K. Therefore omega A divided by omega B is equal to Kb divided by Ka. In the given problem, here Ka is equal to 3 Kb. Here this is Ka is equal to 3 Kb. Now substitute the values here. Kb divided by 3 Kb. Kb get cancelled. We get the answer 1 divided by 3. Option C is the right answer. The next problem is two masses Ma and Mb are hung strings of length La and Lb respectively are executing simple harmonic motion with the frequency Fa is equal to 2Fb. Then relation. We know the formula. Here we know the formula, that is F is equal to 1 by 2 5 root of G divided by L. The ratio of Fa divided by Fb is equal to root of Lb divided by La. And here Fa divided by Fb is equal to 2. This is equation number 2 and this is equation number 1. When you are comparing these two equations, we get a root of Lb divided by La is equal to 2. Then La is equal to Lb divided by 4. La is equal to Le divided by 4. Now La is equal to Lb divided by 4. Option A is the right answer. The next problem is the bob of a simple pendulum. The bob of a simple pendulum having length L is displaced from mean position to an angular position theta with respect to vertical. It is released, then velocity of bob at equilibrium position. According to the law of conservation of energy, again decrease in potential energy is equal to increase in kinetic energy. The potential energy formula is mgh. The potential energy formula is mgh. Here, according to the law of conservation of energy, decrease in potential energy is equal to increase in kinetic energy. The potential energy formula is mgh. Kinetic energy is half mv square. Here the potential energy, it is also can be written as mg L minus L dash is equal to half m into v square. Suppose if you consider this is the simple pendulum which moves from here, this is L and L dash which makes a certain angle theta. Here at L dash is equal to L cos theta. Here L is the length of the thread. L dash is equal to L cos theta. Then we can written as mg into L minus L cos theta is equal to half m v square. Half m v square. Then we get v square is equal to 2gl into 1 minus cos theta, and phi is equal to root of 2gl. Phi is equal to root of 2gl into 1 minus cos theta. P is equal to root of 2gl into 1 minus cos theta. P is equal to root of gl into 1 minus cos theta. The option A is the right answer. The next problem is the total energy of a particle performing a simple harmonic motion depends on the amplitude, and constant value k. The option B is the right answer. In case of simple harmonic motion, total energy of the particle depends on only force constant k and acceleration a. Therefore, total energy in the simple harmonic motion depends on k and a, force constant and acceleration.